everyone, I hope you're doing well. Through this series of videos, I'm going to explain you how you can turn your paper sketches into low fidelity wireframes and how you can start designing the components for this low fidelity wireframe. I will show you how you can set up your Figma for the first time. But before starting that, I want to just give you a very short explanation about what is a wireframe, a low fidelity wireframe. So it is just things of it like a sketch of a website or app. It is not fancy, it is just boxes and lines. It shows where things go, like a button here, a picture there, text on top, icons on button. It's like drawing the blueprint of a house before decorating it, and the purpose is test ideas quickly without worrying about colors or details, and put that on test with real users before investing a lot of time and energy on creating the high fidelity wireframe and testing that. And the first component that we are going to learn is button, because buttons are most repeated components throughout any kind of applications or websites, and it can gives you a lot of good ideas about how Figma and creating components in Figma can work. Okay, so let's start. In the previous, I just uploaded kind of video showing you how you can sign up for Figma as a student, here how the environment of your Figma looks like. So for starting this project, I'm going to just click on create. Maybe you see a series of buttons there, and instead of create button, you see design. So you can just click on design, or if your environment looks like my environment, just click on create. Okay, and then click on design. Perfect. So the first thing I'm going to do is just change the name of my file. So I can just call it name of your small business. So for me is Brew Craft website. Okay, perfect. In Figma, you can see three different panels. On the left side, you can open different kinds of files, you can import files, you can export some images, and here you can add different pages. All of your files will be collected here. All of the layers inside that canvas will be collected here. On the middle panel, you will start working. It looks like your canvas. And on the right panel, you can manage the different kinds of properties. And here in the middle panel on the bottom, you can access to all of the necessary tools that you need. Okay, so let's start by creating a frame. So I'm going to just click on this little button at here, and it opens a kind of panel on the right side, including all different frames that you can create in Figma. So for example, you can create for phone, for tablet, for desktop, presentation, whatever. But because we are going to design a website, we will work with a desktop tab. So for example, if you have MacBook Pro 14 inches, you can just use it. If you have MacBook Pro 16 inches, you can work on it, or you can simply click on desktop, which is a kind of more general. So in this case, I click on desktop. Great. And you can just rename your desktop by double clicking on that. The first things that we are going to create is the home page. So I just call it home page. Awesome. So the second thing that we need to have is your sketches. So I just import the image of sketches here. So click on menu button on top left, go to file, place image, look for your image. Okay, here is my sketch for the home page. Perfect. I just resize it to make it smaller. Awesome. Great. Okay, so let's look at this sketch. I guess that your sketch also looks like this, but let's a little bit analyze that. On this sketch, which is related to the home page of online ordering cafe website, you can see 4 different pages: home page, menu, learn, and cart. On the left side, we can see the logo. No matter if you want to put the actual logo of the website, or in the future you want to design a new one for that. For the low fidelity wireframes, we don't need any kind of details. This is just a kind of black and white and gray structure, so we don't need any kind of details. So instead of just putting a real logo, I just wrote a logo. And then you can have I can have a kind of, a large header here. On the header, I have a large title, a kind of description or subtitle. I have 2 buttons, and then I have another section, title, description. I have 3 different cards. Each card is made of an icon, a title, subtitle or description. Then I have another section, a title, a subtitle, and 3 different cards that are clickable. It means that users can click on add button to add those cards, add those items into their cards, and we can have a kind of very simple footer. Okay. Working in Figma depends on the designer. Everybody has its own way for doing that, but I believe that it is very easy if we start designing the components first. What are components? Components is like a kind of, Lego piece you can use and reuse many times. For example, one of the best examples of components is a button, a search bar, or a card with text and an image on it. You design it once and then use it in many places, and if you change the design of the components, it updates everywhere that it's used. And the purpose is to save the time, keep things consistent, and make design much more easier. And as I say, one of the most repeatable components is button. You can see the buttons here, there. All of these menu items are buttons. You can see those buttons here, there. And I bet you have many buttons on your website as well. So I think this is kind of smart to start from designing a button and learning how to design that. And I should note that I am recording this video for students who have never ever worked with Figma. So I try to keep everything very simple. And there are many ways for designing things, but because this video is for beginners, so I just focus on the most important things, not the detail. Okay, perfect. Let's start. We have already created a kind of our canvas here. Now everything is ready for creating the button. Perfect. So let's look at this button. So the button is made of a text and a rectangle behind that, and it has a kind of a specific margin around on left, right, top, and bottom. Okay, to start, I just click on the text button on the text toolbar here and type down like button. Okay. Putting the components right there on your canvas gives you a kind of good understanding of the scale and sizing. So for example, the button here, it looks very small. So I increase the size. Okay, maybe 16 pixel looks good. You can manage the size of your text from the right panel. Okay, the 16 pixel looks good. I would like to change the typeface. So here I just search for different kinds of typefaces. I love Poppins. I would like to make it a little bit bolder, so I changed it from regular to semi-bold. Okay, everything looks good here. And maybe you can choose a kind of color here. And as I said, because the low fidelity wireframe is in black and white and gray, so black is good. Perfect. Let's look at the sketch. As I said, on the bottom we have text, we have some margin on left, right, top and bottom, and we have a kind of background. So let's add that. In order to define, or in order to apply a kind of padding around my text, first of all, I need to create a kind of frame around this text. So I just right click and select frame selection, and then go to the right panel and click on auto layout. Great. Now it activates the padding for you. Now you can easily just add a kind of padding. So for example, I say maybe 24 pixel on left and right could be good. Maybe 4 pixels on top and bottom, or maybe 8 is good. And something that I want to mention is when you are working on sizing, on padding, on gaps, or any kind of numbers in your website, it would be great if this is dividable by 4 or by 6, because it makes your website much more consistent. So first of all, you should make your decision. Do you like to work with 4 or do you like to work with 6? So because I'm interested in 4, dividing it's easier for me, I work on 4. That's why my padding on the left and right side is 24 and top and bottom is 8. Okay, nice. So when you hover over around, you can see that kind of padding beautifully. Great. What else do I need? I need to add maybe a kind of color in the background. To add the color to your background, again, come back to the left, to the right panel, and click on the plus button in front of fill and choose a color for it. So I think kind of dark gray is good for me. And if you're interested, you can add some radius, some curve to the corner of your button by adding a corner radius from there. Maybe 4 is enough to make my button a little bit smooth. Great, that looks perfect for me. Okay, so I have my button ready and I can use it wherever that I want. But there is something left. Okay, do you remember that I talk about components? I said that components like a Lego piece that you can reuse many times. So I'm going to create a component from it. So first of all, I just rename it to button. Select it, go to the right panel and click create components. Okay. As soon as you see that kind of nice purple around your item, you can understand that it has been turned into a component. But how does it work? So a component works like a kind of mother. You can take many copies from it as children, and whenever you change the mother, all of the children will be changed based on that. So let's duplicate that. To duplicate the components, press Alt or Option and drag and drop it. Again, you need to press Alt or Option and then drag and drop it. So this is the children of this mother. So whenever you make any kind of changes on the component, all of the mini components or all of the children will be changed accordingly. So for example, I changed the background of this component to red. See, the background of the other one has been changed. Or, change the font size. You can see the font size of the children can be changed as well. Okay, let's back to the original one by pressing Command C. So yes, this is the function of component. You can create one component, duplicate it, make different kinds of copies from it, use that copies throughout your website, and whenever you want to make a change on them, you can make that change on the mother component, and all of the small components will be changed accordingly. And it happens a lot in real project. Okay, so yeah, I have my component perfectly here and I can use it wherever that I like. Okay, in the next video, I'm going to show you how you can design um, the navigation bar kind of using the button components.